And just to recap the last video, we are going through the stems of Virtual Riot's song, Believe What You Want. It is a melodic dubstep banger. And we are going through this concept that I just basically birthed in my head of building a track and a song like a house. And to reiterate, my idea for going through this song and copying structure in general so that I can like know where I'm at while I spend hours and hours and hours and days and weeks on sound design is going to be this process. And it goes like this. You bring in somebody's track that you like. Obviously, this is the track that we're working with just to analyze stuff. But say it was a Skrillex song. I would bring it in down here and I would call it the blueprint. This is like getting your architecture done for a studio or a house that you're building, right? So you're going to go in, you're going to cut the sections, make sure it's BPM synced and stuff, and understand, okay, this is your intro, your verse maybe, your drop, or your build maybe, and then this is your drop, and then you do that throughout the rest of the song. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to start doing the plumbing, which is all the musical elements horizontally, start to finish, and all the drop elements that are musical all the way through. Then you're going to go into the electrical trenching and getting your electrical ready for the whole house, studio, or whatever, which I'm going to call drums and basically build-ups and stuff like that throughout the whole song horizontally. And you're going to know where you are because you're going to copy basically another song's structure. Then you're going to go into putting together the painting, or before the painting, I'm sorry, the drywall and kind of scaffolding and stuff like that. That's going to be like kind of the layers of the plumbing and electrical work here. So you're going to put in these kind of finishing touches or extra elements, and maybe some risers and fallers and downshifters. Then you're going to go ahead and paint everything with more layers and vocal samples and stuff like that. Then you're going to master the whole entire thing, basically putting your roof on the whole entire project, house, or studio. And that's how I'm going to look at approaching everything horizontally when it's going to take a lot of time to build these horizontal tracks. And it's different than just like doing a pop punk song where like you get your bass tones and you just go. You get your guitar tones, go. You get your drum tones, go. Your vocals, go. This is a little different, a little more nuanced. So, that said, we're going to go through this song and we are going to blueprint it. Intro. So there's our verse. There's our tension. There's our build-up. There's our drop. Another build-up, drop, right? I don't know what this is anymore, so I'm going to call it a yellow section. I call this a down drop. Then back to your verse, which basically is a vocal chorus. Right, so we're going to color that red. Just like the first one. But it also is mixed with a build. drop. Into an outro, which we will do pink. All right, so that's what I would do with bringing in a track, say like Skrillex, Scary Monsters, Nice Sprites. I could do it with that one too. And then when I start doing all the rest of the building and the house and everything, it's gonna like make more sense knowing where I am, because I had this idea in the beginning of it generally where I wanted to go, because I have the blueprint, the architecture done first. All right. So what we're gonna do next at this point is we're gonna go ahead and do the plumbing, right? And like I said, I wanted the plumbing to be the melodic content. And I'm going to say that that goes horizontally again. So I am going to do that with the main melodic content and the main melodic drop content, in my opinion. So I'm going to solo these two that I'm coloring red, right? And then I'll assign the rest. And let's listen to these basically together. And you can see that like where there's a little bit of overlap between these elements but the drop, there's no melodic content going on. And during the opening of the song with the choruses and stuff, there's no drop content. So again, these two, I'm gonna put them up here together. Playing all of this in, I guess, or programming it. Maybe at this point I want to add the vocal, but maybe not when I'm first building it. Some bass transition, drop.
When you hear the drop, pop it. Believe what you want yourself.
And all of this orchestration will take a lot of time because there's so many different instruments going on in all of these sections. But I'm going to make it interesting as I possibly can, I guess. Maybe my vocals are in now too.
what you want, just believe. Believe what you want, just believe.
This plumbing drop, droppy section blue. So again, if I were to make a song, it's like I might want to just like go through all of this. I want to throw my blueprint master somewhere I can see it and just build all these parts out, and then like when the drop hits, figure out the drop and just move across with your rhythms and your melodics. Not worry too much that it's not going to get filled out perfectly yet, because that comes later with the painting and scaffolding. So okay, we just listened to all that. If I were to make all of that, it would take me some time, clearly. But at least like going horizontally, I would know where I'm at and what I'm doing, rather than doing vertical section. Like I used to go like, oh, let me make the drop, and I'll make the full vertical section of the drop until it sounds so perfect. It takes so much processing power and brain power, and not even brain power, processing power, that by the end of that, you can't really write anymore and pull up new patches and have no latency. So again, as basic as I possibly can, which these days with Serum 2 and stuff, you could totally do that with these complex sounds. Throw in some strings, commit to, the chord progression you're doing or whatever, and the arc of everything melodically. You don't even need to keep MIDI, just bounce everything down with this process. All right, so say that that's the plumbing, and let's just say that the vocals are inside the plumbing at this point, because I personally like vocals in all my songs, so I'm going to make a song that has vocals in them. All right, so that's basically what we have going on here. Now, I'm going to say we do the electrical, right? So let's go back to the beginning of the song and let's listen. I'm going to color these white right now. And that's fine. There's not going to be no drums yet. I know that that's going to be an intro. melody and that percussion. That's cool. Cool, so now the electricity is in the track, and if you played all this together, you know, you basically have something that I would be like normally, like, oh, that's really, really finished, but it's not, and that's why we're here learning. So, you know, what's next after the electric, I think I was saying, is your drywall and stuff like that. So let's start with like these effects and stuff. Go to the beginning. No effects for a long time. And then during this transition, we're going to add this in. Right? Right here, it looks like there's something. Then right here. And this is during the build. Got it. And then right here started the all of that's so important, but yeah, because like listen just to this end without the drywall. Now without it. That really just puts that drywall up and makes that house look like, hey, we're almost finished here. I can kind of live in it right now, right? And with these effects, I'm gonna go in and listen to it once with the drums only. Crazy. And then let's listen to without the drums. Let's just listen to the music with the build. crazy. And let's listen just to the drywall builds of effects. Crazy. It's like even when a riser's going and then it does a stop, there's still something under it kind of like giving this kind of like whirlwind of something. Absolutely beautiful orchestration. This is just the opening build. There's other stuff going all over here with the track. A big boom right there. This is where I start getting confused of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, because it's like I could see how you would follow that a little bit by what the vocal's doing. So like, do you solo the vocal and kind of just be like, all right, let's see. It's like it follows the drums quite a bit too. At least the vocal. Like, let's backtrack just a second here and just do the drums and the vocal. Crazy orchestration. Yeah, so okay, now we have our drywall up, in my opinion, and I called the effects hype drywall for the drop. So as I'm doing lasers and shit, I might throw that in as well, so that the drop feels more filled up, because without it, with it, starting to get into a little bit of painting though, which is why I called it a little bit of painting. So let's go ahead and assign a color to that. Okay, and now we're going to do the rest of the painting. And let's start from the beginning. So, and we're going to solo just the plumbing of the melodic content for this. And I'm going to start introducing the paint. Right? So the orchestral paint. Without it, synth layer without it. And I could almost imagine just starting with all of this and really finishing your melodics, I don't know, in the beginning. Without the painting. With it. The orchestra. And the synth layers, some effects kind of slipped into there. And then again, inside the music melodics, there's that riser. Without it. Right here. Oh, well, we'll go back to the drop music. But you want to throw in your electricity, right? Your drywall. Now your paint. Maybe maybe a little extra touch of paint. Your vocal lead. Just as that last bit of element, I'd call that paint, but we kind of already figured that out. So luckily we got a little painting done during the electricity, which kind of makes sense if you're building a house or something. You might need to putty up some stuff. Put those drums in. And so on and so forth. Like I had this idea I was gonna do each stem individually and listen to the whole thing, and I still might do that in another video, but like at some point I do believe you need to stop that idea of horizontal elements only and listen to what's going on with the other elements so that you can follow your micro rhythms and stuff. Like the vocals are kind of following the drum patterns, or at least interacting with them in a nice way. And then you find your way to getting all of your elements, and then you put the roof on with a master or whatever. But like, again, it might even be just as simple as just throwing shit at the wall horizontally with every freaking track until it feels finished. I just don't know at that point how these guys go about that. And I'm sure they don't sometimes go this deep and they just go off a vibe. But these are elemental beginnings of knowing where to go, I believe. And you know, when they build to the architecture, you know where you're going in general, and I guess you just don't stop. And then you get your hands on stems like this, and I really feel if I were to sit here and just start adding these elements and pick out my chord progression, I think is very important as well. And I would say that that's like your stage, like kind of right after picking out the blueprint other track you're going to do, and you have your sections modded out. This is where you kind of go like, okay, this is going to be a 4 chord, and pick your chords, right? And then this is going to keep going 4 chord. And then over here, you're going to be like drone it out with 1 chord for your build, right? And then your bass, you're going to be like in this, like your bass note, right? It's worth us going through right now and doing that part. And I have it set up where I go to a place called Chordify, and I get the basic chord structure of these types of songs. So So all the way up until that part of the song, which let's listen to it right here, the chords kind of change. And now you're starting on E, and it's like lasting longer too, if you look at it too. Like so it was kind of like halftime chords. C, E, and D would go there, but very cinematic chord progression. But the idea that's happening here is he's modulating his song to the root note of the scale. The scale of this song is E minor. He's starting on the 5th, and you know, I think that's the 5th. Let me double check. Yeah, basically the 5th, in one direction or another. I guess in E minor it would not be the it would be the 5th in E minor, maybe. No, that would be, I'm getting a little lost in my music theory of this, but basically a fifth interval. Let's just say that he's starting on in the key of E, which is A minor. Then he goes to the C, then the E, then the D. And it's kind of a pop song at this point, right? Then your root is in the middle. Anyway, so once he gets down here, sorry, right down here, and he's going pretty crazy with this. E, B, C, G, A, D, E, D, E, C, E, A, B, B, C, E, A, C, E. So it's like this kind of like big merry-go-round where he kind of changes the starting point of the song from the fifth interval A minor being E. So the song kind of breaks into dubstep here. And this is really E the whole time. So that's really cool. So basically, if I were to do it here, I would be like, okay. I would be like E dot dot dot. Oops, sorry. Like a dot dot dot. G, E, dot, to make it simpler, something like that going on. And then I would around here just make sure that this is mostly just an E riser going all, like this could be a crazy chord progression basically. But then I need to kind of like wind it down with this E note to bring us back home and prepare us for this bass note drop, which is going to be an E the whole time, essentially, at least in this type of song. I do want to say, though, it's interesting how, and I'm going to color these really quickly. He has this progression in the beginning that starts with the A, and he brings it back as like this DJ, like kind of like, oh, check this out right before the drop, right? And I believe that that right there is kind of doing C. So that follows the A, C right there. So he actually took both, not just the A, but also the C. C. So on and so forth. That's going to go on for a while until the drop's over. And let's find that. All E. Now you have E, C, another E drop, and that's staying. Different rhythm. E. E. You do some pedaling. Back to that E, calm. Kind of give yourself a nice chord bed. Calm down period after all that energy. And then finally, we'll go into another chord progression coming up soon. I'm going to just go and put all that in real quick. Kind of this again. more of a calm E. Now he's got this micro drop that I called it going, and what he's doing is kind of pedaling between the E and the C. So I can make it make a little bit more sense. E, C, E, C. There we go. Chorus again. But back then, in the beginning, where that chorus came in, it was A, C, E, D, like a pop thing. Now we're using what he used in this kind of break. Which is freaking awesome, right? So he's now over here in this energy. There we go. So. Sorry. There we go. B, C, right? C, A. It's kind of the tension, I guess. E, riser. All right, so I want to analyze that a little bit further. So the E riser. Drop. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, still on E. Yeah, it's basically E all the way out in like a trap beat kind of thing. So now I am curious in this section. And when it switches right there, dun dun E E E E E E dun 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 dun. I wonder theory wise, and I don't know the answer to this necessarily, if he's just switching from like E E E major energy to like minor. Or if it's just E all the way through, but it's more of like there's like another interval that's happening. Like since we're in E minor, I'm assuming maybe it's like the major third, major third, major third, and then like the 2. So like 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 2 2 2 2 2 on some sort of like layer on top of the bed of E. But in general, your E is rocking out, and then your E starts doing the E version of calm all the way to the outro. And I guess all of this was E until the drop back. This was like a fake out E. All right. So there's the chord structure of the song that they did. Now I might want to say chords of not blueprint, but chords of ref, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna delete that and be like chords mine, and I'm gonna write my song now. All this prep work to basically ultimately get to a place where we could start sound designing and building a song. Now, it seems way too crazy to me that this much discipline would go into putting a start to finish song together. What the hell is fun in doing all that? For me, it's more fun to pick up a bass guitar and have a drummer right next to me or whatever and just do what I know, which is like, okay, these are going to be the chords to a pop punk song. These are the drums. The chorus goes here, put the melody in. And I can get really scientific about that shit with melody and words and lyrics and stuff, obviously. But in this case, they're spending a lot of their time, I think, once they know the chord structure and everything, and the sound design of all the sounds that are going to go in. But getting ahead of myself, let's just keep going. So if I wanted to make my track now, I have all these sections. Here's the big difference. The drops are the root notes. It's very simple stuff at the end of the day. Then there's like two major different chord progressions. There's the kind of blue pop chord progression. Then there's the cinematic yellowy green chord progression. I just come up with in my own key something similar, and maybe I want it to be not cinematic here, but say I want to keep this pop thing personally. Dun 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 dun, whatever that is. I'm gonna find some sort of chord progression and lead that does that. Then the breakout. I'm going to, instead of do this crazy dissension of like orchestra stuff, I'm going to probably do more of a simplified version of that where I pedal between the E and the C, I want to say, is where I'd probably go. Let me think about that for a second. It would honestly help me personally if I knew the E minor scale by heart, which I don't. So I'm going to really quickly just look at that E minor scale, just so I can know the degrees of what's happening here. Okay, so the F sharp's the only black note. So E, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E to the C is 6. That's interesting. Let me really quickly go over here. Now I'm doing all this theory to figure out what the hell is going on. Yeah, because during that orchestral part, let's go to the orchestral part. It's like C, E to the C to the A. So very interesting. So E, the A is the major, minor. So it's E to A is, so that's minor, obviously, the E minor to the A. So major, minor, minor, major. So then you got the C major. So really going from the E minor to the C. So that's going to be minor to the major. I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm going to simplify it down to just going to the E to the C and do more of a Post Maloney type of thing, which it could bite me in the ass and I should just do some other crazy chord progression. But I do think the important thing to note here is that this section of mine is going to deviate from this section. And it's going to be a longer chord progression that just takes longer to get through. Whereas this one is going to be something super, super similar to what he's got, where the chords are poppy. I am going to also follow the idea that whatever the root is, it's going to start at this point, and this is just one big long pop intro. And I might do this in a different key altogether. I might do it, say, if I were doing it in C minor, then that makes this a little easier for me. It would be the 1 and the 6. It would be like C minor, and then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the A flat. Oh, oops. A flat. And that's a little bit more, there we go. 1, 6, 1, 6, and we'll stick with the 1 here, and then this will be the 1, and then this would be starting on the the 4, which is the first minor of, or the second minor of the scale, then it would be, I would go F, right? Then I would do something, 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 and I would probably remember that the third note is gonna be the root, so it's gonna be C in my case, and then we're gonna have another note here, and then I would basically just see what do I want to do, what sounds good between all of that. So F, maybe it goes to and then let's just look at the quality of the chords as well, of where my dude's at. So he's on a minor, major, minor, major. Okay, so simple. Let's just stick with that. And I'm just curious, what is the actual fifth of E minor's scale? And it looks like that's going to be in the minor sense. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be the C. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm tripping for a second here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, not really. Actually, I was right. Okay, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be B. Duh. That's rudimentary shit, but like during my, while we're going through all this other stuff, that gets confusing for me. So the fifth is B. So again, mine is going to be C. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. God damn it! Is it 7? Now I'm so freaking lost. Is it 7 or is it 5? So the E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would be the D then. So the D goes there, and my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 B flat is going to be there. Okay, so hold on. So my B flat is going to be here, meaning I have room to do probably one of my favorite chords, E flat major here. So that's going to be my chord progression, right? F, E flat, C. Sorry, I should do this for myself at least. F minor, E flat major, C minor, B flat major. Okay, that's going to be my poppy chord progression. Now, what's going to be cool is I'm going to then go down to the C minor, pedaling with A right here, right, to give this Post Maloney kind of like just 1 and 5 thing going on there. Maybe I even change that. Maybe it's not the A flat. Maybe it's the C minor to the F minor or something. Let me see what they did really quickly.
What you want yourself.
Minor. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I'm gonna something that sounds nice. I'm gonna work that out. Then I'm gonna do the C build, because now I'm finally rooted in my key, rather than not. I'm gonna do like this like little fake out right here, back to my original chord progression, which starts on F minor to the E major. That's right. And then my drop. And then I can really quickly blow through the rest of it. I remember that I was going to do something here, and I was going to, then do this other. So this is going to be, I'm just going to color it the same so I don't get super, super lost. Then these will be white, right? So that's going to go back here. Then this is going to go here. Then we're going to have our drop again, and then we're going to have our other drop, but this is going to be like calmer, so it's gray. Then we're going to go into this other place where it's kind of, I did it right here. And I guess it'd be something more like that. That is kind of now doubling up, but it's in a drop format, so I think I'm going to be able to get away with it personally. Then again, we're going to do this, right, with our root. Then we're going to have this like root fake out, which is going to be like this blue. And this is going to be our drop again. And then this is kind of our get the hell out of here in the root purpley thing. So now this is my chord structure that I'm going to follow. And I'm going to do this thing where I actually spend time to figure out what I'm going to do different in this part that, remember, we wanted some difference. So they're going root to C, which for them it's root 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 to the 6. But they are kind of doing the C thing. Hold on. Let's go to those two sections and let's make sure we know what those sound like. So right. Let's go find that real quick. What the hell is it? What's after that? It's the dump bam bam bum. There we go. Okay. So it really is still kind of like that orchestral, but more Post Maloney. They did it here in the drop. In my opinion, Post Maloney, in a weird way, you won't know. Now E, C, right? C, A, so there's your every dissension. So that's interesting. So this E, C, A to them is 4. So 1, 6, 4. 1, 6, 4. So let me go ahead and just do that for mine just to see what would happen. We could always go simpler later. So like the 1, 6, 4. So that would basically, in my key, be 1, 6, 4. So I'm going to go C, A flat, and I'm just going to add the F minor. And how long did they do that for? I'm just curious. Oh yeah, then it goes, oh yeah. That's the whole thing that's tricky about it. Okay, so it goes then back to the 1. Ah, all right. 1, 6, 4, 1 in my key. Should have just done this with numbers in the front of the beginning, but fuck it, who cares? I don't fucking care. 1, 6, 4, 1. 1, 6, 4, 1. Okay. Now I can let me do the 1, 6, 4, 1 here. Go 1, 6, 1, 6, and kind of pedal that a little bit better. Let me double check it again. One, 6, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6 to the 4, 4, 1, and then you're 1 right here, and you're 1 on the way out. So 1, 6, 1, 6. This drop it really is special. I need to color it something a little bit more interesting, I guess I would say. All right, so now I'm set. If I wanted to do basically his chords to an extent in a different key, then that's a starting point. I don't know if I want to do that just yet. I think I would, at this point, just freaking jam around a little bit. So like, You know, if I'm playing around with this, like A flat, C minor, flat, and then oh, I'm playing his, and hold on, that was all so wrong. So I'm sorry, I'm be going like F minor, E flat, C, and then B flat major, and then I'm gonna end up getting to the 1, 6, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, little fake out. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's how you basically play all of this section to here, to here, to here, to there. I'm going to try something a little different just so I don't copy exactly what they're doing, but also it's chords. You're allowed to copy chords and people do it all the time. And for something like this, and I want to get to the sound design, maybe I would do that. I don't know. My top line melodies and everything would make the song different. But just being me, I want to see what else is out there, really, more than anything. I'm happy to go with this, but so it's like the F. The important thing that's happening with this particular one is that the C minor's on the third chord of this pop progression. So I'm going to start with trying to go, oh, I was playing G the whole time. No, I was playing F. Okay, so I'm going to try going F, G, C, C. No, I don't want to end on C because it's too long, because then that makes me stay on the C. So let's start going F, G, C, E, F, G, C, B flat. So maybe it'll be a dissension actually. And I'll go 1, oh, I'm sorry, be a F, G, so 4, 5, 1, 7. So I'm going to redo that. I'm going to do 4, 5, 1, 7. 4, 5, 1, 7. So like I'm basically doing what some people musically, and I could do this a lot faster in my head too, but it's good to write it out because I could do this fast in my head and it's going to take me months to make this song, or weeks and maybe months. So I'm not going to remember that this is the chords of the fucking song, and my ear doesn't detect chords like Charlie Puth does. And I'm really pissed about that. All right. Cool. So 4, 5, 1, 7. And then honestly, I'm cool with keeping the entire rest of the song his way. I just wanted this beginning to be a little bit more of this dissension. Well, not dissension, but like you have 4, 5, 1, 7. And it's cool because it kind of feels a little more kind of hip-hoppy to me. And then it'll go into this more of a 1, 6, 4, 1. And maybe even I change that for 1, 6, 3, 1. Or maybe 1, 7. Let's try that. 1, 7, 4, 1. I like that better. 1, 7, 4, 1 right here. 1, 7, 4, 1. A little less cinematic, I'd say. 1, 7, 4, 1. Oops. 1, 7, 4, 1. There we go. And then this C ends up, or I'm sorry, this fuck, where is it? So confusing. All right. This part right here goes from basically 4, 5. 5. Which is cool because that was my favorite theme. That's going to hit super hard with this hip-hoppy kind of top line that I'm imagining I want my song to do. And that's really the only place that it actually happens. I might personally bring it back right here. Oops. Oops, I'm hold on. I really should analyze the shit out of this second drop, but I just don't know if I have it in me right now. Oh my god. Virtual Right. What is your name? I have friends that know you. I don't know your real name. It's not Miles. What is it? No idea. What do I want to say? Zorik. It's not. I know you're German though. I think you're German. Virtual Riot. Daniel? I don't know what your name is. That's how far removed I am from the guy. You're insane. This song's crazy. And the fact that you gave these stems is like so cool, man. Oops, I don't want to save anything right now. Although I do want to save something, so I might actually just do that. Hold on. Display capture, turn it off so you guys don't see my crazy analysis. Or not, see my crazy wherever things are. I'm gonna actually put this in the StemZ folder that I kind of put together. Here we go, the Virtual Riot stuff. Believe what you want. Believe what you want. Template with chord ideas. One. Boom. I'm going to leave that here, and just in case I fuck around too much, I'm going to do a quick save as. That I'll name it too. Yeah, that's gnarly. So now it's on me to essentially build out so I've done through these videos, which is why I kind of wanted to do it, because I figure why not get some views / help somebody else that's learning. Honestly, I went to a EDM school, funny enough, before I got into pop music, called Icon Collective, and like I wish that they taught me this type of discipline. In one of their courses, this is like a discipline macro level with micro levels attached, that this is the way to learn. Like these 2 videos I made, you can learn so much from them. Wish I had this earlier. Anyways, I'm a person who needs to see the whole picture and the small picture all at once. I can't just like trust people going like, oh, this is what you're doing and it's all going to lead to that. It's like, no, I need to know the whole scope so then I can really manipulate it into what I want. That said, I copied their chords. I have his song, and then I kind of did it with my key that I know best, which is C minor. I don't know E minor very well. I don't play in that. Then I was like, let me change the chords. This is going to be chords mine, actually. And then this is going to be chords chords same key change. Then now I have my chords I'm going to do. And then basically I'm going to turn off his stuff and I'm going to write. Now I'm on to the plumbing. So now I'm basically going to, let me hit save again. Start my, I mean, really what I should do, let's just do it. I'm so tired. Whatever. Plumbing. I wonder how far I would get if I went right and left with just like the plumbing chords. Let me see what I got here. This is so funny. And I'm just going to actually just do an audio track so I don't have any CPU issues at all. So I'm going to do plumbing chords, which is, try to keep it the same kind of colors. Plumbing drop, right? And then I'm going to do melodic vocals. This really needs to be a different color. I'm going to go with, I don't have a pink yet, so we're going to go with pink. I'm going to do plumbing Vokes. It's going to be pink, right? That's confusing me, so we're going to stop that. Then we're going to do the electricity. I'm basically building right now a template, and I'm sick of all this shit, so I'm getting rid of all of it. It's like my old template that I never even use. Symbols. Right? This is going to be white. Then we're going to do the electric fills. Builds. I think those are the builds as well. Let me double check. Drums. Actually, it's just fills, to be honest. The build is inside the drums, which makes sense. We got the cymbals. And we got the electric fills. So then we're going to do basically the hype, the effects, and I guess more painting if needed. And I'm not just going to be like, oh, we absolutely need it, right? I'm going to decide that. So I'm going to do drywall, which is effects, right? That's actually going to be more important. I'm going to put the symbols down here. I'll color that maroon or whatever the fuck it was. There we go. And then we're going to do this one, drywall. Drop. I'm going to do this as subtle. Oops. That's going to be blue. Whatever freaking color blue. All right, there we go. Then I'm going to do these greens, which is next to the yellow, just so I remember. Do that real quick. Okay. This is painting orc. If I want an orchestra, painting synth layers. I'm going to do drop because I know some of that's in the drop, which is kind of important. And then painting vocal samples, which seems to be like last on his list in my mind of how he's doing things. Or I'm just gonna do sample vocal or just samples voc. All right. So when I'm going to go build horizontally, you know, maybe I will, so I don't have to keep roaming on up to this. First, I'm going to collapse his track. And then I'm going to probably go in here and be like, okay, so this is like intro. This, I remember, was the chorus. Build riser. It's a little different. Then you got the drops. Then you got this being build 2, drop 2. Let's see what's happening here. I call that a down vamp. Interesting how that goes into its own like Minimal drop 3. Chorus 2. That's drop 4. And then outro. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in between all of this, like your drop A's and B and whatever, and drop 4A, drop 4B, whatever you want to call it. But this is a crazy template to, I think, get started with building a very complex sound design song. Because it's got everything, right? It's got like your meat and potatoes of your reference, knowing where different shit is. You got all your markers of like where shit is. And you could really, when you're starting, kind of get rid of these two, the chord reference and the chord reference, same key or different key change. Chord, same key change, that one. Get rid of those two and just make your own chords to whatever you're hearing here, which is totally fine. You can drop sections and like maybe this isn't needy, go straight to the whatever, but like you build all that, figure out your chords, and then you just start making your shit. But like luckily, and this won't be the case all the time, but I actually have all the stems, at least somewhat of a group stems of what he was doing. And so if I get a little lost and I feel like it needs something, I can go back and listen to his shit and be like, oh, like the painting in this area was the orchestra, right? And then the painting in the drop was that mixed with this. And I can kind of just reference and really dive into what he's doing. And straight up, y'all can do this with like to even get a little bit away from copying somebody that you know, which I know pop stars and stuff, which will say copy, copy, copy. They'll even say steal, steal, steal. RT. We know who that is. I get it, and I agree with him, but I just, in certain aspects of it, I just think he publicly said it a little interesting. But oh yeah, you could use like a Suno track that's really cool or some shit. I don't know, or one of your own tracks. Like I've written tons of things without ever going into this depth of laying out how I'm gonna copy the arrangement of somebody else's song. I can go and take any number one of my songs that I've painfully figured out over weeks and had CPU issues and directional issues and all this shit, and break that down and do the same thing but in a different way. And I don't know, I guess after a while you do this enough, you just start knowing what you're doing even better. And I'm, in my opinion, I think I'm a pro. I think I'm trying to take my pro level to elite level, and that's why I'm breaking something like this down when I get the opportunity to. It's been a couple hours. It's not how I wanted to spend my work day, because now it's turned into more fun, because I think this is fun than work. I'm not gonna make any money off of anything I've done right now necessarily right now, because I didn't make a track that I can go sell or sync or pitch or drop. But I've done something that is really important for aspiring producers and any producer to do, even at elite levels, is you do every now and then need to make sure you're upping your game by analyzing somebody else that you look up to and asking them questions and learning from them. And if you can't do it on tour, then you do it with what you get. And I just got emailed these access to these stems from Virtual Riot, and I'm like, well, shoot, man, you're elite. In my opinion, you're better than me. You're where I want to be in this bass music, and I have the insight to go and sit here and ask all these questions and be told by through your stems. I'm gonna do it, and hopefully the next dubstep banger, melodic banger I make will be 10 times better because and where I want it to end up because